All right, folks, we're back into it. It's the winners match, best of 5. There are no real losers here. Whoever falls and dies will simply go to the group finals, but the winner will advance to the playoffs. Spawning here in the upper left side of Neon Violet Square, we got the yellow Zerg, Impact.
And in the bottom right from Root Gaming, one of the scariest players in the whole world, the Red Protoss, this is herO. This is actually, we were talking about it a little bit before, and this is the rematch of that VSL final, herO versus Impact.
Oh yeah, I was actually just thinking more about the group that played out last week or 2 weeks ago, but yeah, the VSL finals from about last year combined with this, I mean, these guys have fought each other multiple times. We've seen them in the Elima League too. And the thing is, I can't really say that this is going to be so good for Impact. herO definitely has the match order win as far as the history goes, minus the VSL finals. And in recent days too, the group, if you missed it, granted was best of 3s, so there might actually be completely different results in a best of 5, but it was a 2-0 for herO last time these guys fought.
Well, it's not surprises there. I mean, I would favor herO against Impact. I really hate that I always default count out Impact when I think about him when he goes up against people like Innovation and herO. I mean, he's already beaten Innovation, so he's shown me that the error of my ways. But I still favor, like my brain just default favors herO in this match.
No, I'm with you, and I don't think it actually has anything to do with looking down on Impact. It really is just knowing who he's up against. These aren't no-name Koreans who are like the underdogs. These are the top dogs. herO's like the best Protoss player. Innovation's like the best Terran player. I love Impact, but until he becomes the rogue best Zerg player, I'm always going to default to the other guy too. But that's just completely based on like, not even skill, just fame, I guess. Either way,
yeah.
Quick note for you, my good friend. Australia is the best, just donated $3. Says, I'm sorry about my comments, Maynard, bruh. I just wanted to have some fun while supporting BaseTradeTV. Keep up the good work. BFFs?
Look, we need some work to reach BFF, but you are forgiven, my friend. You are forgiven.
He's like, I might forgive you for $4. 3's a little bit like just friends, not best friends.
Yeah, I mean, BFF is quite expensive. I'm not sure you want to go there. You know, people have asked for my dreads. They're like, how much does your dreads cost? And I'm like, you know what?
Oh, why would you? Oh.
Yeah, I know. It's a little unsanitary, but people ask for it, and normally I ignore them, or I say something like, that's creepy, or I just say, you know, go away. But last time someone said how much for a dread, I just said, you know what, 10 grand. And that actually shut them up quicker than
yeah, but
actually telling them to go away or
you got to stipulate, man, because if they give you like 10 grand like Hungarian dollars, that shit's like worth a penny here.
No, I'm talking USD, my friend, the great American dollar. You give me 10,000 USD, I'll give you a dreadlock. Done.
US and the D. This Stargate did get scouted, by the way. Impact knows this is here, so it's not a question of like, oh my god, and that's why Spore Crawlers are already coming down. His Queens will be well set to deal with the ones in the natural, so I think if the Adepts wait, this is better. If they transfer in now, yeah, the distraction tactic, splitting Impact's attention is going to be way more effective.
Yeah, that's it, man. I mean, 2 Adepts, if they get into a drone line, can one-shot a drone. It's quite nice. I think maybe if they time it out with the Oracle, it'd be quite good. Like, Oracle hit the main, Adept hit the natural.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Kind of like a 1-2 punch. You look to the left, you go right. It's called the Kansas City Shuffle. But, real quick, I don't know if anyone here watching from Korea is fluent in English enough to be listening to the stream, but if you are, just a quick shout out, because oftentimes, like 99% of the time we stream anything at any hour, US is always our biggest viewership. But South Korea today is almost doubling the US viewership.
You know what? I've been feeling the hype for StarCraft 2 in Korea these days. Like, Super Tournament kind of flew under the radar, so there wasn't much of a turnout for like the first few rounds. But your regular GSL rounds, your Super Tournament finals, it's just like a packed studio, man. They've been doing all right at that Africa studio. I mean, they must be making money. They're still staying season after season.
Yeah, man.
And yeah.
We got a couple donations we'll get caught up in a second. There's some actual things happening on the map, but I just want to also quickly shout out Red Rogers Games. That guy, nobody I know has watched that movie. I love Lucky Number 11. It's got like some of the best writing for the stupidest movie. The dialogue in that movie was just great, but catches the reference to it. Now, what I said was going on, the Overseer looking for big scouting, needs to see what's going on, because, well, he got that early Stargate, and that was cool information. He actually had no idea what the follow-up was looking like. This could have been 7 gateways, it could have been a robo, but he does see the Twilight Council before going down, and that's a big scout for Impact.
You know what a lot of Protosters aren't thinking about these days? Dropper Lords. But Impact has made a Dropper Lord.
Well,
and he's going to try and get up into the main base hero here. We'll see if this works out, though.
Impact is also, I want to say, they're fairly well known for doing at least a Baneling drop per series. In fact, I was a little surprised we didn't see it come out versus Innovation, but versus Protoss especially, we'll usually see him try and sneak in 1, if not 2. Now, this isn't Banelings, it's all Zerglings, but the point is this drop style is pretty unique to Impact, and if herO, like if he's thinking on it, right, who he's playing against, he should know that this would come at some point, even if he doesn't scout it. It's that consistent out of Impact.
Well, he's looking like he wants to try and lift the Queen and gun down a drone line, but 3 Queens says, nuh-uh, get out of here. Impact even cleaning up this Stargate, which I love as well. He's just doing the dishes right now. Like, it's a chore, but he's got to get it done. And there we go. I really don't think hero's thinking about drops right now. Like, I think this is going to catch him with his pants down, this Ling drop.
But it's kind of like, how much is it really going to catch, right? It's just Zerglings is the problem. A couple Warpins quickly deal with it, and these aren't going to chew down gateways anytime soon.
Oh, don't go on the natural.
This is, this is still a big scout, though. Even if these Lings don't do damage, this sees the number of gateways in play. He's counted the ones over here, too, and suddenly you're like, wait a minute. You don't get to this number of gateways unless you're getting ready to attack. This isn't production. This is, like, assault-worthy.
Yeah, just getting that scout makes this drop worth it. Like, yeah, he's lost 4 Lings, but, you know, he's killed a pylon. He's gotten some scouting information. He sees the amount of gateways here from herO.
No way, he's actually gonna kill one?
No.
This will open the doorways, too. The Oracles actually have to use their energy here, so this is actually a really good use of these Zerglings. Because either they kill the gateway, or the Oracles use all their energy stopping them. A couple Lings in the main are gonna get cleaned up, but a couple probe kills.
Has he seen the Templar Archives? The big question here. This herO is going to push with a very scary spell here. He has
his spell does not reveal units, though, Maynard. 3 Lurkers are finishing up.
Ooh, yes, indeed. And Lurkers can deal with the storm too. They can handle the weather.
I love this wall. This is so good. It buys the time he needs to finish the Lurkers. Just barely. And now they're done. Set them and forget them. They will defend this ramp.
Yes, they will. I really like Impact's position here. herO has an Immortal, which is very good against Lurkers, but it's an Immortal. No plural here.
Yeah. You know, he's got Revelations, and of course an Observer's being turned out now, but again, the timing on this was so big. If the Evolution Chambers weren't there, if the Lurkers weren't finished, this actually might have already killed Impact. This was super clutch out of our Zerg player.
Big storm here on these Hydras would be a nice start for herO. He has to break through this choke point and get
but the Lurkers
trading so nicely here. Impact pulls the drones, gets an Archon as well on the way out.
While this is going on, though, no one got that gateway back up. It did fall to the Lings in the last second, so with the throws of that gateway going down, it leaves a big hole and getting to that mineral lines, causing a lot of chaos.
Ooh, War Prism finding an opening here in the defensive. Impact goes into the main base and loses an Archon already, and the Hydras should be able to do the rest here.
Yo, Lurkers, I always forget, do have a lot of health. That thing soaked a lot of damage. These guys holding the natural base pretty much single-handedly. And the Lings, well, they pick up another 10 probes. This is pretty good, and they're not even cleaned up yet.
Yeah, and there's some hurt probes here, so another few are going to go down for sure.
Yo, man, herO, like, he's doing a lot of really great things, and I love the way his attack went here. Timing would have killed like 9 out of 10 Zergs, but Impact, man, he's holding. He just needs to hold a little bit longer.
Impact's got this, man. He's surrounding with the Hydras. He's looking for that Warp Prism kill. If he can get that Warp Prism.
Oh, God,
he's just killing these Archons. Oh! So close.
herO's on 2 bases. He's lost so many workers. He's bleeding out. There's no... He's thinking about a third, maybe. No, he spends the money on Warpins instead. Coming in for the surround. Lurkers get in underneath. Nothing to warp in over here and nothing to see as herO walks away. Impact, my dude. He's making it happen.
Hot pick up there, misses one of those High Templar, though. These Hydras have muscular augments, and they are slithery snaking, chasing down this Protoss army.
I mean, herO could...
standing tail.
He could run this army around the corners and the edges of the map, and he still wouldn't be really buying time for anything, because he's not got a third base. I'm harping on this a lot, but without a third base, his income's bottoming out, and Impact has taken a huge lead economically over the last 2.5 minutes. I mean, evident here by the graph, especially.
Yeah. No surprises to see that massive difference there. Impact's still on 3 bases, still nicely saturated. I mean, his work account is incredible, but it's been better than herO's, and herO's been having to deal with Ling run buys. Impact's been trading very well on the front line as well, thanks to these Lurkers, the MVP unit for Impact.
So, just so you guys are aware, someone's asking about this in chat, and it's a fair question. if herO loses this, I don't know that he forfeits the finals. He may. That may be a problem we run into, and I hope it's not. But it was said that I don't want to start talking about his public information or his private information here. The thing that's causing him some trouble for the groups might not be a problem. It's just the fact that it may have conflicted, which is why we're doing this match first. Just so everyone's in the aware. So don't get too ahead of yourselves, guys. We'll play it by ear. We'll see how it goes. Because this is far from over. It's even if he loses this game, it's still game 1.
Can't believe this is only game 1. It's so sick. herO can recover and he can turn this into a game. I've seen herO come back from bigger deficits than this.
Yeah,
it's certainly been a very dominant performance from Impact so far for the last 10 minutes.
It's also super critical that he did get that third and didn't press the issue with another all-in, or he would actually be out. So he's going to be able to build a lot of probes, try and catch up on the economy, and we'll see if that's enough to get him back into it. But keep in mind, guys, that's a half base in the back compared to Impact's full base, so it's not even really 3 bases for 3 bases.
Impact's Lings once again, chewing away at that wall here from herO. I'm sure herO should be able to deal with this.
That's where you just wish he had a cannon, man. Like, you don't want to have to use your warpins like this. You need them on the front line. I'm actually really like tisking at not having a single cannon there. Twice now that would have saved him.
These lurkers are still a problem that herO can't really solve here. It's a bit of a conundrum for him. He only has a couple of immortals, and I feel like if herO had like 4 or 5 immortals, then yeah, maybe he can go up a choke point and muscle through, but storms are just not that good against lurkers. Like, they do damage, but not enough.
Yo, I'm really sad we don't have Colossus. herO is the only Protoss player I've seen dance with Colossus to kill things like lurkers. But yeah, you're right. The storms aren't going to be enough. The AoE damage they do is going to be great, though. If they break the Hydras, if they break the Lings, then the Archons, then the Zealots can deal with it. But the lurkers here on the front line are not broed initially. Now down and ready to fight. He's got to kite back. No more storms, though, Maynard.
Yeah, he's out of storms and he's out of options here. He has to pull back. There is not enough Protoss to meet shield. These expensive units, these Immortals, these Archons are all in serious threat from just a mostly Hydralisk army here from Impact. Even a drone leading the charge. The drone's like, get them, fellas! Yay, Zerg!
He did pick up that High Templar, so maybe there's going to be enough energy for a single storm, but one storm's still not going to be enough for this. I think it's safe to say with the upgrade deficit and just the army supply alone, this is Impact's game, and I don't think he's going to make a throw anytime soon.
It's going to be very hard for him to throw it as well. He is up so much army supply. herO has 0 upgrades, by the way. He's just started +1 attack. Impact already has +2 attack for his Hydras and his Lurkers, Rifkin.
Yeah, a lot of people asking about like Colossus too. Guys, nothing's going to save herO. herO could be making carriers right now. Like, it wouldn't matter. Impact has too much. And his upgrades are too strong. And I love the attempt at a warp person, but Zealots should normally massacre Hydras. They're not going to. Not when they're this well upgraded. +2 weapons choose through these Zealots.
They get the surface area, though, and they do surround those Hydras with charge, thankfully. But hold position on these drones, the Queens and the Hydras at the back. Oh, they got it.
Yo, that is the second noteworthy time today. Impact has had some really sick hold position micro with his drones. It's usually not something that ever comes up, but twice in one day? Go Impact. I'm loving his play today, man.
He's playing like a god. This prison is dead. That's one less thorn on his side. I mean, herO, that warp in was very bold, but he's got to do something, right? Like, if he just sits here, Impact's going to get further and further ahead. His worker count is just the same as herO's. Yo, I just don't see an answer for these lurkers.
Impact, if he gets the Hive too, he's going to have like the instant probe. He's just even more problematic. But I joked with the carriers. The Fleet Beacon is on the way. I don't think he's going to get to it, though.
Oh, these Lings are going to stop the units from retreating here for herO. The Hydras are coming in, and they are just dancing into the choke point. Massive storm, though.
These lurkers, 36 damage a shot to anything armored, 24 to everything else is still so much. It's a splash damage in a line, and herO's filtering in a line. These Zealots, oh, they might not have even come in. GG.
Was that Dark? No. Was that Sue? Was that Rogue? No. It was Impact, but goddamn, if the nameplates were taken away, I would have easily been convinced that it was one of those 3 because Impact played like an absolute god, man.
Yeah, that's one of those, like, you could do a barcode tournament with that game. Like, that is for sure. But, okay, we're going to hop into game 2 here pretty quick. It's on Catalyst. Let's not dilly-dally. Get Maynard in first, because I always forget to invite you, my good friend.
It's all right, mate. I should honestly be a little bit better about joining off you, considering my friends list. I just don't think about it. I'm very hands-off when I'm a co-commentator, and I usually, I rely on people to observe for me. I rely on people to invite me into lobbies, and I just do nothing. Like I just commentate the game.
It's all good, dude. I've gotten strong from carrying Zombie Grip over these last 4 years. No, I don't carry anybody. Nobody carries me. We all put in our fair share of the effort and the work, guys. We're gonna hop into game though. They're ready. Let's get into Catalyst for game 2. It's game 2.
It's crazy.
I have gone from standing to sitting, so my hype may wear off a little bit, but my excitement certainly won't, as we get here to game number 2. This is the winner's match for those just tuning in, and the winner of this will, of course, move on to the playoffs. Spawning at the top left, we have the yellow Zerg player, though. He's playing so well, and he's up 1-0. Give it up for Impact!
What a great game 1. He's turning me into a fan real fast. And in the bottom right, I'm already a fan of this guy. He's done his work over the years. This is Root Gaming's herO.
And I would like to address the donations we got during last game, because like I said, shit hit the fan quick. It was non-stop action for a while. So unfortunately, we didn't get to read these out, but we had a super dank donation. 420 coming in from Australia is the best. We're BFFs now, Maynard. What whiskey you drinking?
I'm drinking Sullivan's Cove. It's a Tasmanian whiskey, actually. It's Australian whiskey. It's a single malt. And it is smoother than my ass. It is so smooth. I love it.
Got the word Tasmanian in it. Must have been pretty crazy. Anonymous then also tipped $5 to say USA is the best. And he is a beanie hipster. So unfortunately, while Maynard gained a new friend, he made a new enemy too at the same time.
Right. Okay. Well, Denmark is the best. There's only one way to beat USA is the best, and that is for a donation war.
This guy, I love it. All right, so there's a lot to be said about the players, about the game, but the one thing I'd like to ask kindly of anybody tuning in right now, if you haven't already, there's like 5 or 6 links you can click on the Matcherino page that will add money to the prize pool. You can add up to like $5 just by visiting our sponsors. So all those links on the Matcherino page, they're either, you know, follow BaseTradeTV on Twitter. You can actually get like $2 for retweeting one of our retweets. And furthermore, like by checking out all the various wonderful sponsors of the event, you can add even more money. So the prize pool, we're getting pretty close to the next stretch goal. We're almost at the halfway point. And this was brought up yesterday. I'll briefly just address this again, though this won't keep coming up on broadcasts. We did have something close to $1,500 come our way that will be going towards the Matcherino, but I've publicly stated twice now, we'll be adding that in later. I feel like it's a really cool blessing to have, but it's also not something that I want to really screw with our stretch goals. We've been working so hard. We're getting so close to this next one. So that money will be added to the event, but it will come later.
Later, Gator.
Later, Gator.
This probe is just trying to keep itself as live for as long as possible, doing the loop-de-loo here. Ring around the rosy.
Actually, works.
Yeah.
Juked, bamboozled.
Someone asked what the year of my whiskey is, and I'm trying to find that.
2018. World's worst whiskey.
2014 it was bottled, so it's a 4-year-old whiskey, actually. Oh, no, sorry. Bottle date 2014, barrel date 2000, so it's an 18-year-old whiskey.
Yo, I know that stuff gets better with age. From a
friend, by the way.
I know that stuff gets better with age. I've been watching a show called The 100 recently, and it's like post-apocalyptic world 100 years later, and they find this bottle of whiskey in a car, and I can't help but think that's either like the most amazing whiskey or the worst nuclear radiated disgusting whiskey in the universe.
Jury's out on that one. I'd have to give it a taste test to find out.
I love this. He does manage to get the depths barely out of the main, but these are so low, they're still going to die, and then not picking up many kills. This, for herO, not so worth it.
Yeah, still plenty of drones left here.
By the way,
herO's up and working. Sorry, go on.
All the people in chat who are collectively rolling their eyes, I do not like this show. I do not think it's very good. I'm not a fan of like the forced everything in it, but
oh my God,
it's something to watch. The Oracle's here, so this shouldn't get too crazy. He did pull the probes, though. I mean, that was a very important pylon. It's still not a wall off. What, herO? How many times have you played StarCraft 2 that you don't have a full wall off with this?
And the Oracle's not here. That's gonna depower it.
That stuff's warp gate? Oh my god, what's the 112 out of 114?
Luckily, there's another pylon here for herO. I just noticed it's not the biggest of deals. He is using all his Oracle energy, which means his drones are very, very safe for a while.
A little bit of a zap on his own thing there for a second, but he does clean this up. Still, though, I don't think he's even aware of what's going on. And the Nidus Swarm is the problem, too, but this wall should have been a wall. herO's like the most basic thing you can do as a Protoss player is SimCity, and he's done that inefficiently, and it's costing him everything. The Nidus pops, transfuses, tries to lift it. These Oracles have no energy. He can't even really fight with this.
Transfusions on that worm, and more Lings and Roaches are going to start popping out of it.
He's out of energy.
This just looks like Road, man. It just looks like Road.
Oh my god, GG. We gotta taste the dark, we gotta taste the rogue. Impact has Frankenstein himself here into the greatest Zerg monster of all time. 2-0 over herO. And need to remind you guys, the last time these guys fought in the group leading into this group, herO was the one who walked away 2-0. This is good stuff out of Impact today.
Dude, he's playing like a god, man. He deserves this. Even if it's a 3-0. I hope it's not a 3-0, but even if it is, I think he absolutely deserves it. It's hard to argue that. Anyone that argues that in the chat is dumb. All right, throwing that out there.
Just straight up calling them out. All right, guys, we're going to go to some commercials before we get into this third game. So thank you kindly those watching, and hopefully you'll stick through these. If you haven't already, make sure to slap a follow button on the channel so you don't miss out on anything, because we got all these extra groups coming up this week too. We've got the Asia Open Group Finals. We have the European Group C coming up. There's a lot more BTSL where this came from. But like I said, we want to give away a t-shirt before the stream's done today, and hopefully you guys will stick around for that too. Either way, commercials. Rifkin, quit wasting everyone's time. We'll see you guys in a couple minutes. All right, that is actually the perfect time to replay this notification. Get that sexy sound rolling, because Hermes 2018 tipped $5, but no message, sadly. Regardless, this might be our biggest day of tips in a long time. Not in terms of overall value, but the amount of people throwing a couple bucks here and there, and I love it. Thank you guys so much for the support. We're getting into game number 3, and we're going to address some of the conversation we had during the break in a moment. Before then, though, to the top right on his last life fighting, it's herO.
And in the bottom left, playing a godly series, this is Impact.
So I asked herO, like, okay, look, you might lose this. What happens if this goes to the finals? Like, will your real life problems be an issue? He's not sure. So we're going to play it by ear. Here's the plan for this, right? If this was another matchup in the group, we would have to forfeit herO, and I'd even give him a strike, and that would totally suck. But if he goes to the group finals, that's actually something we could reschedule to play out later. I hope it doesn't come to that, and I hope we can just wrap all this up right in a nice little bow tie here before the cast is done today. But we'll see how this goes. So the official call right now is playing it by ear, but it sucks because, like, you can't. Sometimes real life just happens, right? And you can't really be punished for it. And this is something where we have a solution that might be acceptable. So fingers crossed that nothing bad happens, guys. But do know that we're already working with the players to try and make sure that this is all sorted. Anyways,
we really want to see the who's going to go through to Vancouver, like who's going to go to Canada, who's going to be that kid. Would hate to have that information delayed, but you can't you know, if herO's got to go, he's got to go. What are you going to do about it?
Right, so we'll look into it, guys. But I do really appreciate the fact that herO's not just like taking off and ditching. Like he's being really good at communicating what's going on here. So anyways, enough about that. Getting into the game, he's had to deal with a lot of problems from Impact, and maybe this is a 3-0 comeback, right? So it ends up being 3-2, and then we don't have to worry about this at all. But herO's really got to churn the dial up to 10. I feel like he's playing on like a simmering 3. He needs to spice that shit up and dial it to 10, because he is not dealing with Impact very well.
And then tear off the knob. It's a Stargate opening, so we have a little bit of a lull in the action. It gives me a little space to ask you the question. How do you feel about half your age plus 7 as a rule with dating?
I think that I'm lucky for girls talking to me in the first place, Maynard.
So you take the plus 7 out of that equation, is what you're saying?
There's a whole nother conversation to be had here. I do believe what you have stated is the general rule of thumb that I have heard from most countries.
It's an unwritten rule, but it's a pretty solid guideline, I feel.
Or to what is this in comparison to, though?
In comparison,
context,
I mentioned I mentioned that you know, I don't know if you guys noticed, but if you're keeping on the Twitter, StarCraft and I finally tied the knot. We made it official after 8 years together in a very, very happy relationship. StarCraft and I are very happy to announce that we're going steady.
But that doesn't work because you're talking about age of a person, and StarCraft is celebrating its 20th birthday. So unless you're like 30-something, 40-something right now. Yeah,
well, they were saying, like, Maynard, you should feel bad. It's only 20 years old. And I'm like, well, I don't feel bad because half your age plus 7.
There you go.
StarCraft
Okay.
meets my criteria.
So in this context, I'm like, yeah, not a problem. It's StarCraft.
Yeah. But if we're talking about StarCraft 2, then...
you know what?
I'm really messing up.
She is jailbait still. StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
Barely a decade.
There's an Australian saying that's really, really lewd. And a lot of people won't understand it, but the saying is, if there's turf
is it the
on the
dolphin
wicket,
one?
No, turf on the wicket, time to play cricket. That's an Australian saying. Only Australians will get it, so I'm happy to just leave it there.
You know what? I don't even get it, but it rhymes, so I'm just like, yeah, I gotta believe it. If it rhymes, it's obviously a rule. That's what I've been taught growing up.
Exactly. You just don't knock it.
All right, well, guys, getting back into the swing of things here, this Oracle is going to kill the Queen and might even be able to solo the other one afterwards, as long as she doesn't get involved with the fight. But he's going to fall back, and oh, he actually loses the Oracle. Not worth it.
Yeah, it was going all right until that moment there. And these links from Impact are quite threatening as well. herO, of course, has a wall in. He's warped in to plug the hole as well. Can shade in the Adepts behind that. Oh, my God. Ooh. And that Zealot's like, hang on a minute. I got a job to do.
Yeah, a little bit awkward with that shuffle, but third base not coming down. The War Prism also scouted for timing. This is all kinds of weird. Impact, I don't know what it is. He's got herO's number today, Maynard.
Yeah. It just seems like Impact just has more powerful lings than your average Zerg.
Oh my God, he's slow crawling Queens, so this is going to be a very dedicated attack.
Dude. All right, well, we'll see if this works out for Impact here. He's droning behind it as well. It's crazy. That's a real Phoenix, by the way, not a hallucination.
Yeah, he really almost kills it. And the War Prism's got to be careful, too, because if it flies over the Queens, it will also get picked up. I'm looking for some feedbacks. Yo, this strips away their transfuses. That's really nice. But Queens are still just, like, tanky units with range. And, oh, if that was, like, a grid unit up, that would have killed the War Prism.
Yeah, that was so close. Shield battery is going to be very, very crucial here with that Immortal being in range with his shield batteries. That's his line of defense. He's making some Archons here with his Templar. And Black...
I'm not convinced yet that this will work for Impact. Shield batteries can go a long way. 2 Immortals, too.
Yeah, double Immortal, 3 shield batteries. One of them is low on juice, but the 2 shield batteries still have plenty of juice on them. And there's Archons in this War Prism as well. I think herO's got this.
Yeah, even the Zealot getting some really good slashes in there. This was a really dedicated attack, as I said, out of Impact. But, you know, his economy is not exactly suffering behind this, right? Like, he falls back to 53 drones and 3 bases. If he gets an army up before herO arrives, Impact can still fight this. I mean, 10 roaches are on the way.
I don't think I've ever seen a Phoenix killed by a Corrosive Bile, so that's something that's happened in this game.
It's a lot of strange things happening today, period.
Yeah.
I'm still recommending it. Like, if you guys missed herO's first match today, you gotta go back and watch it. But Zealots charge in. It's a lot of damage on that front line, and these units are starting to get split. Unfortunately, Immortals are pretty good against Roaches, so I'm not sure if this will work too well for Impact. Literally blowing them away.
He doesn't have transfusions on his Queens either. They're getting close to a transfusion, but as it stands, these Roaches and Ravages are all on their own.
You know, herO is probably one of the best players in the world when it comes to War vs. Micro, and so far, so good. One of our highest viewed clips of all time, if you sort clips by all guys, is herO keeping an impossible amount of Colossus alive under Viking Fire and Marauder Fire. Like, he's so good with the War Prism, and really displays it right there, getting all the units out safely. Well, all the non-disposable units out safely, I should say.
There's even an Archon that looks like it's lost a hit point here. It's on 9 instead of 10.
Yeah, 8 out of 10 actually, but still, just as like, what the fuck? Oh, go lose one finally. Loses 2. This is a problem. He went for phase mode. He wants more Zealots, but that's okay. To lose the Archons, he goes for the break, but the War Prism goes down. The Corsair Gear are so good at this. Oh, the attack might come to an end. There's a counter going on too. Impact gets into the Mineralites. GG. The herO will start fighting back.
herO gets a point on the board here. It's not going to be a washout here for herO, which I'm pleased to see, by the way.
I gotta be honest with you, I'm surprised Impact is the one who tapped out. It's not, I guess, not surprising. Impact made sense to tap out, but having killed that Warp Prism, it looked like he was about to break herO. Running into the natural base, it looked like he was gonna break herO. But
I think he just realized that like he didn't have an answer for the Immortals back at home, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he was still bleeding out to them. I know some people in chat are like, what, and that timing, but really, it did make sense. It just looked less deserving because he had just done so many cool epic things at the last second. You know, you run into the base of your opponent, you kill their Warp Prism. Like, it looks like it's all good, but that's all aesthetics. Let's get everyone in the game. So Eastwatch is going to be the next map. This is the other thing I like about Best of Fives. We actually get some map variety instead of just black, pink, neon violet, square, and catalyst over and over and over and over again.
I mean, that black, pink, and catalyst is just going to be there, man. This is something you have to deal with. They are like both Overgrowth and Abyssal Reef. They're just going to be in every series.
I was gonna say nothing's gonna. Abyssal Reef I'm fine with. Overgrowth was the worst though. Overgrowth lasted way too many seasons. But
Abyssal Reef lasted, boys, I think, a year. I feel like.
I don't know, but we're hopping to Eastwatch, so see you guys in game. All right, folks, sorry, a little bit slow on the draw there for the button, but we are back into it. Oops, let's not hide the player names because, of course, one of them is a barcode. Spawny here in the bottom left. He's still winning. He's still got his opponent on match point. He doesn't have to sweat just yet. We got the yellow Zerg, Impact.
And the top right, fighting back, getting a point on the board. Still potential to fight back here. This is Root Gaming's herO.
And just to address the criticisms really quickly, and it's a fair point if you misunderstood. I'm not saying I was questioning why Impact tapped out. I was making the argument it makes sense that Impact tapped out. It just didn't look like he should because he had just done so many flashy and really cool things. But at the end of the day, as Maynard had said, it hits the point home. You can't deal with the Immortals. Your supply is too far down. You don't have the army.
Yeah. If only like the Zerg structures had the ability to uproot themselves and just move into the main. And I'm not talking about, obviously, you know, spine crawlers and spore crawlers can do that. I'm talking about like hatcheries. Get that hatchery out of the ground, move up into the main into safety.
You don't play co-op, right?
I play some, but not enough.
So you've probably not seen how absolutely ridiculous Stukov's buildings look like when they uproot, and suddenly the command center is a giant crab with spine crawler feet walking around.
As I don't really play much Zerg, but I gotta say when I play co-op, I play Zerg heroes. Stukov and Dahaka are the two people I play.
I have more fun with Dahaka, but I win more with Stukov.
Yeah, I feel that as well. Like Stukov is just like a you don't really need a brain to play Stukov.
Hey, careful now.
Micro. Yeah, careful now. Easy. Playing with fire there, champ. But I think that Dahaka is just like micro intensive, so he's good fun in that way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Dahaka, one of my favorite strategies I've recently discovered is you can literally just at a point lift up your main and give it to your ally, so they can literally be on 4 bases and you just walk around with Dahaka.
Which is amazing. Which is amazing. I love that. I do that as well.
I've still been having a lot of fun with that. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I talk about co-op so much. I really enjoyed Han and Horner so much, though. I don't think they're even that effective as a commander combo, but they were fun. The fact that anybody has units and talents that dedicate towards those units dying makes me happy.
Well, I'm a big believer in whatever's fun. Like, don't go for the most OP, go for the most fun. Like, I know that Dahaka is super, super strong, but I play Dahaka because it's fun for me. I just love controlling Dahaka and his armies.
I play Dahaka because he makes the Godzilla sound when he maxes out leveling, dude. I love it. But Adepts do manage to squeeze in, mostly uncontested so far. They did barely miss the drone. If they had picked off that jungle for the third, that would have been super sick for herO, but looks like Impact's all over this.
Impact's dealing with this so cleanly.
Yeah, he pulled the drones, so he's not lost really anything to this. One Zergling so far. One Zergling.
One. Un Zergling.
You know why that Zergling that died is a special Zergling? Because it's just one.
Rifkin. Never change.
Impact would be really good to scout this base. Ooh. The Overlord's not going to get back into the base, and he knows this because it's so low, but as he heads northwards, and he confirms the gold base, that's a 6 spot for these Lings to start running towards. I feel like, yeah, this gold is so vulnerable. It's so gambling. That's such a gamble here from herO. Yo. That Overlord just goes north a little bit more. Like, he sees that, he's got speedlings, he just stops it. Oh man, the rally on this Overlord's garbage too. If you click it to see where it's going, it's going all the way left and then up. Oh, he sees a probe. He doesn't course correct though. He's actually going further away from it. What the fuck? He saw the minimap. Okay, now he goes. Yeah, now he goes. Okay. I was really frustrated there for a second. But hey, we missed it. But Silky threw 500 more bits our way. This is cheers, Maynard. Cheers, Rifkin. Thank you very much, dude. Cheers to you, Silky. You're part of the reason why I'm drinking whiskey right now. He's got the gold bit badge right now. He'll have it for the week if nobody surpasses him. What a cool kid. Well, you know what to do, guys. I think Quebec 01 only has 1,000 bits to go to take that first place. That's pretty good. Quebec, yeah. Actually, my favorite thing though is when people start being real dick mode and they just like start passing each other by 1. We had this happen a lot yesterday. Actually, a lot of like taking it over by one point at a time. I was in a friend's channel the other day. I was #1 bit donator, and then Little Nidus outdid me by a single bit. You got prices righted, bitch. I did, yeah. Got prices righted. If this kills the sentries is great, but I should be able to put the force field to save them. No, 2 go down 3 almost. No way, no way. Okay, this is still bad. I mean, losing 2 sentries to that Ling run by should not have happened. Yeah, that's horrible for herO. Like, did Gumiho just suck all the good out of herO when they played? I mean, I really love herO, but he's making some serious mistakes in this whole series so far. I mean, I don't want to read into it too much, but there might be the whole real life thing that he's concerned about. He is trying to play StarCraft right now. This tournament does matter a lot. He could potentially go to a different country to win a lot of money. So this qualifier actually is a big deal for all these players. Well, it's not only that, but each round of this tournament has had increasing values to your prize money. Not to mention, I think you get like 300 or 500 straight up for first place on top of the 1,000 for the travel. I mean, it's not just the travel. You get a lot of money for this, man. Yeah. I mean, he's not the first high-level Protoss to lose some sentries to some Lings. Those are speedy little units. All right, well, ducking around. If you didn't know about the gold before, which he did, he does certainly now with the Lings confirming it's saturated up. This Overseer heads on in to see what's waiting, but really it doesn't have a lot of health, so I can't go too far. Almost has a Contaminate. Be a cool kid, Impact. Impact is the type of guy to do Contaminates. Goes for the Changeling instead. Lame. He's gonna see not much in the main. Actually, there's not much, period, in the main, so this isn't that big of a scout. If he didn't poop out a Changeling, he could have Contaminated +1. Maynard, you should teach Impact how to play. I'm gonna check his English in a minute. I met Impact at I can't remember which tournament I met Impact at, but I spent a bit of time with him at Home Story Cup. His English is passable. We can have a conversation. Yeah, a lot of Koreans. If you keep it like real basic, they know what you're talking about. Yeah, which is a lot more than can be said about us trying to understand Korean, though. Oh yeah, I know Anyang, Haseo, and that's about it. Dude. There was a meme. They talked about it a little bit on the SC20 stream, but there was a meme with Tasteless and I actually we spoke Korean, but we did it in like American TV presenter voice. So it sounded really obnoxious, and we like mispronounced words on purpose. I don't know if you watched much of I Am Katowice, but it had that whole "Welcome to the Hacks pre-show" thing that we were sort of taking the piss out of. Nice. So we were going like. Or like Anyang Haseo to my friends in Korea. Oh my god! Kind of voice. That is so obnoxious. Even just hearing it now. Yeah, I saronghae each and every one of you. I'm just thinking about for other languages now too. You're like, bonjour, everyone. Like, bonjour, all of my friends in France. I jet aim every single one of you. Well, Impact actually distracts herO really big to the south side, opening up that gold base, baby. Warpin's coming in, but if he kills the pylon, they're not going to be coming in very soon. Zealots do get to finish the Warpin, but he's not done with the attack to the south. This is herO. I'm not done with you. You've left too soon. He picks off the Immortal, comes in for the backside now for a pincer attack. I mean, Force Fields are keeping half the army up, but these guys still get involved with the fight.
These 3 Immortals can get rid of this side of the flank. In fact, these 2 Immortals with Sentry support with the Guardian Shield are actually bullying back Impact on the top end as well. herO recovers and takes a good trade.
This is pretty big because Impact wasn't ready to swap out of this, right? The idea was you get that gold base and that buys you the time to recover to get to Hydras. The Hydra Den's only just begun on the back end of this.
Oh man, Impact needs a plan B here, and that Hydra Den is so late it's pregnant. There are so many Immortals here with charge lots at the front. The roaches are not going to hold this, Rifkin.
What did you just say?
The Hydra Den is so late that it's pregnant.
I'm dead. No, yeah. I'm dead. You're too good. Fuck. Well, I guess as I try and recover here, Impact does have a small counterattack on the other side of the field, but this is nothing compared to what herO's done. I mean, the Immortals are in numbers of 5 and 6. And the Warp is a micro to boot. It's going to keep these alive for way longer than they should live anyways. So that's going to be that. Impact. Oh my God. Are we?
Pick it up.
I don't know. Oh, I don't know if this is the end of the game, but this is doing some serious damage. You know what's key, actually?
Prism micro. There we go. All right. Jeez. Okay, I was wondering what that was.
Prism micro, but I said this wouldn't be a big deal. Impact actually, herO never pulled the probes from this. So he's not only lost 18 probes, he lost the Nexus on top of it.
Oh my God.
How did Impact do this much damage on the counter? He should not have been able to accomplish this much damage.
How did he have roaches left over to go across the map and kill a gold base while trying to hold 5 or 6 Immortals attacking him?
It was only like 4 or 5. It wasn't even that many. Like, that's what really astounds me about this. Oh, this is bad. For herO, I mean, this is a little bit tough because, okay, yeah, you lose that third, but the army supplies are still holding up. Hydra's only just now popping. I think if this was an equal army supply for Impact, but it was more Hydras than Roaches, herO's in trouble. But it's still mostly Roaches. It's still mostly Ravagers.
He's got Archons with this now as well. Prism is back again, so he's got another one. He's got the one from before, rather. Surprised I didn't see more Prism Micro with herO on that attack at the third, but even then it may not have made the difference. Impact still has quite an army. All right, here we go. 6 Immortals with some 6 Archons, in fact, coming in, and he's keeping the Prism in a nice spot here, out of range from Tiles, out of range from Hydras.
Oh my God. herO loses his third in the most terrible fashion, but brings it back anyways. And we're gonna go to game number 5.
Dude, game 5 in every single series so far. So it's a good thing that I had that white monster.
No, it's a good thing you got some whiskey too to carry for the other half of the cast. But I was just gonna say, herO was really on the outs. Like a 2-0 start was so good for Impact and so bad for herO, but now, yeah, anything could happen here in this last match. I know that's the most cliche thing I could say, but really, this has been such a weird day of games, and I fucking love it. But before we hop into it, guys, it's been about half an hour since our last break, so we're gonna go to a quick commercial. When we're back, it'll be game 5 to decide who wins and who loses. Okay, guys, we're back, but it has suddenly gotten very awkward for us. So this is going to the ace match, right? Things are tied up 2-2 if you're just tuning in, and this has been awesome. And then herO did what I assumed was read logging, because players do this all the time, but he forgot to do the part where he logged back on. So I've messaged him. Impact doesn't know where he is. I don't know where he is. This is strange, frankly.
It is a touch. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and assume that he doesn't have an SSD, and maybe it's just taking a little while longer.
Yeah, I mean, especially winning like that, he knows it's not over, but I've reached out to him, guys. We'll try and get a hold of him. This is so weird, though, because herO... Like, there's a lot of things to say about various players out there, right? But herO, despite the language barrier between us, has always been very good about communicating what's going on. So for him to just disappear makes me think something's happened, and it's not just like a login hiccup. So we'll give him...
it's uncharacteristic.
We'll give him a few. Worst case scenario, if, like, let's say his power's out or something, right? We can always just postpone this final match, do the Gumiho Innovation Series, and revisit it. I don't know. It's certainly strange.
Well, hopefully he logs back on soon here.
I'm trying to see if Impact has his Kako chat, maybe, because he's not replying to me on Skype, so I don't know what's happened. In the meantime,
is he online on Skype?
Yeah, well, he's always online. That's the problem. But we had Brute Axis cheer 100 bits. As someone who hasn't watched StarCraft 2 in a while, are there any tournaments coming up I should keep an eye out for? Hell yeah, the BTSL, baby. Otherwise, Nation Wars Grand Finals is coming up. I think DreamHack Austin's a little bit further down the road, sometime in the summer. So nothing in like the crazy immediate future, but we're always hosting a lot of high-end StarCraft here on the channel. We've also started doing some amateur stuff. Speaking of which, by the way, this Wednesday will be the Diamond and Below Amateur Tournament. If you guys want to sign up for that, type ! Noob in chat. But Impact says he's reaching out to him on Kako chat, which, for those who don't know, is like a Korean messaging system. So, yeah, we're trying to figure out what's happened to him. Sorry for the awkwardness. But in the meantime, we also had Floatin come reset for 9 months. Thank you very much for coming back, dude. We actually haven't had many subs. Yesterday, I got bombed. It was like 61 subs or something by the end of the day. But we've only got 10 so far this stream. Feels low in subs, man. So
I must be losing my charm, dude. Normally I'm the sub bringer. Wait, am I the donation bringer or the sub bringer? I forget.
I think you're the bit bringer. But I was gonna say I could just pull up that clip of like Soda Poppin', watching Forsen, watching Ninja do his Twitch Prime shout out, right? I don't know if you've seen that chain of memes that've been going on. It's pretty funny.
Nah. I'm very like, I only follow StarCraft things, so a lot of like common knowledge gets lost on me sometimes.
Well, so Forsen, basically, he's got that thing where if you donate, you can play a video on stream. Oh, sorry, real quick, guys. herO is on his way back, so we don't know what's happened, but we know he's coming back. But awesome. Forsen was just eating, and someone donated, and it was the video of like Ninja's YouTube video, basically doing the sellout for the smash that Prime button or whatever, or don't smash that Prime button. And then Soda Popping watched the video of Forsen watching the video of Ninja doing that, and it just started this terrible chain. And now people are like paying people on Fiverr to read the same script out, like, and they're just playing videos of other people talking about Twitch Prime. It's so good. It's such a meme. I love it.
You know what? I've been on Twitch for a year now, and there's a lot of Twitch that I still don't get.
Well, that's what you get for just hanging out with the StarCraft crowd, where we are sensible beings and adults.
Yeah, I guess I'm just too sensible. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm in danger of, being too sensible. Yep, that's me, Mr. Sensibility. I
really don't know. So here said he's coming back, but we're still kind of waiting for a little bit, guys. So I'm not in a big rush. I hope you guys aren't either. We'll get this going here as soon as we can. But if herO is gone for too long, we can always hop to the other series. So, I just love the Impact. His message was so concise. Why leave 2-2? There he is. All right, let's get him back in here.
Nice. Get in here, herO, you scallywag.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume he probably just had, he probably hit with an update or something dumb when you like restart. I've had that happen before.
Mistake, he says.
Never mind, he actually just thought it was over. Okay, forget everything I said. We're going to game 5. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Acid Plant. See you in game. Oh. herO left. What? Oh, wrong race. I had a moment of like, what? Yeah. So I gotta get him back in the lobby. He was Terran, so he's gotta fix that real quick. All right, now we're getting into Acid Plant. Jesus. See you guys for the 5th and final game of the winners match. All right, folks, as said, if you're just tuning in, it's game 5. It's the winners match. This determines which of these two players goes through to the playoffs. And spawning here in the lower right, we have the red Protoss Root Gaming's herO.
And it's up left with a strong start to the series, but his opponent is fighting back. Can he finish him off? This is Impact.
Someone in chat, by the way, saying nice hat, Rifkin. This is my backwards NVIDIA cap, and the only reason I'm wearing this is because I'm absolutely livid about this. I have turned my apartment upside down like 4 times looking for my loser fruit hat. I can't freaking find it. I love that hat, dude. It fit my head so nice. I got a big, stupid head to fit this big ego and brain that I've mushed in there. And that hat was like the first hat I've had in a long time that fit. So I'm super pissed.
A head like that, that's got you have to make space for knowledge, ego, intelligence.
Oh, no, no, back up there. There's no knowledge in this brain. Oh, Maynard, thank you. You're too kind. No, it's on the pituitary gland. Actually, I should not go down this direction because this just makes me want to take shots at recent events, and I'm supposed to, by all accounts, not get into more drama. So deep breaths and bite my tongue.
This is that moment when you're driving down on a freeway and you decide, where do I take the high road or do I take the underpass? And you can take the high road.
Do I brake check the semi truck behind me? Is that a smart move?
Yeah. This guy's kind of tailgating me a little bit. Do I hit the brakes and get a free new car or potentially die? Or
yeah, that's always I don't understand people who do that. It's so crazy. There's just like A, the dick who's tailgating, but B, the people who like deal with it. It's just like you see those up on Reddit all the time, and it's scary, man. But herO's made a pretty big dick with his probe, super duper annoying, denying some minerals, but then just ends up leaving. Timing kind of permits that he takes these 5 minerals. Haha.
My plan works perfectly.
Now, there's a little bit of awkward disconnect that actually happened between games here. herO had legitimately thought he had brought this back to a 3-2 and left because he thought he was all done. Now, I don't think this is such a big deal that it breaks a player, but that is that moment of like you're in the zone. You know, it's almost no breaks, no stops as you play games 1 through 4. And you're really in it, and you're riding off that momentum, and that's what he was doing for these last 2 victories. I hope that that hasn't gone away for Game 5 here. Taking that breath of relief a little too soon.
Honestly, you're absolutely right. That's the hugest deal about here. herO thought he won. He was riding a momentum wave, and that momentum wave has crashed. This is a fresh Game 5 here.
It's kind of like brake checking a semi-truck.
Yeah.
Just bringing it back, baby. Hiding in the corner, the Adept will probably get out of here alive. I don't know if she'll be bold enough to go for drones, but I think getting out of there is probably the better option.
I like how the Adept is meant to be like the captain of the Protoss ground forces.
Is it?
Sometimes I think so. Yeah, it's meant to be. I think lore-wise, the Adept is meant to be like the captain of the Zealots. Like the Zealots are like the low end of the Protoss army. The Adept is like their leader. Like, I don't know if you like, follow Warhammer or whatever, but the flag bearer, like that would be the one that holds the standard, like the flag bearer, the captain.
Heretic for the Emperor.
Well, there's no Terrans here, so the glorious Imperium of Man is not being represented at the moment until Invasion gets back out there.
Yo, Ultramarines and Blood Ravens for life. Even though I can't really afford. Actually, I could probably now, as an adult, frivolously spend my money on Warhammer pieces.
I still can't.
Actually, you know what? You're right. I think, like, I just got $1,500 from a guy that I'm supposed to put towards a tournament, but I could instead buy 1 pewter Warhammer piece with that.
You could do that. Yeah, you could buy 1 box of like Terminator Space Marines. We have a herO going for double immortal drop by the looks of things. He's got 2 immortals, he's got Prism out and drop out, so he's going to try and go for some shenaniganry with those immortals, I think.
Well, some really important stuff's about to happen. We start talking about Warhammer, and then In Control auto-hosted us. This is like some Beetlejuice shit.
I know. You say Warhammer 3 times, and In Control just shows up.
Okay, Overseer's getting a really good scout, but the biggest scout it's going to see is that there's no army at home. So this attack is happening, and Impact is going to be fully aware of it. In fact, this is fully walled off the front too, so there's no links that are slipping by too easily. But Impact has already torn down gateways in this series that isn't going to care and mind doing it again given the opportunity.
Yeah, he's going for a push here, and you know what? Impact doesn't have a whole lot of army to speak of. In fact, you know, he has more army supply, but it's rather like, what is his army comprised of? It's primarily roaches. Yeah. There are 2 immortals here with a war prism and a lot of sentries.
There's no Ravagers yet. These sentries are going to have a lot of power. Normally the force fields are kind of meh, right? But these spines in the back are going to be out of range of the fight. There's not enough corrosive bows to break the force fields, but he almost kills the sentries with it. That would have been a good start. Hold the queens in place. You're standing to fight. You're standing to die.
Yeah, this is really bad for Impact here. He's taking a terrible fight. herO is crunching through.
Oh, man. Drone's getting cold.
Not losing much now.
There's that War Prism micro we've been speaking of. He's been missing it, but he brings it for the final game, where it matters the most. He's killing a lot of drones with this attack, but these queens are still holding on. The spine color's trying to root. Oh, it gets blown away at the last second.
And herO is still barreling through here. Both these immortals are still alive. The charge lots are getting replenished by numbers here. 5 at a time here for herO. The drone count kills for Impact are getting substantial now. I think Impact has put out too much.
Give me a hell. Give me a yeah. herO takes the series 3-2, despite thinking he was already done with the day.
And then you message herO and you're like, all right, now you've reverse swept. Now you can log off for a bit, okay?
I mean, what makes this so tasty is the fact that Impact actually played really good. Even in the games Impact was losing, Impact still played really well. I mean, take that Eastwatch game, for example, right? Kills the Warp Prism, kills the gold base, still loses. Like, credit where it's due, Impact is still playing legit today. I'm sad he lost, but I'm very happy that herO won.
So that would normally mean that, well, that means that herO goes to Vancouver, right? That's the winners match. No,
not yet. No? So herO will move on to the playoffs, where he will play against 2 players from the Asia Open bracket, and of those 4 players, 2 will go to Vancouver. So we're super close to the Vancouver deciding time and all that, but we have a little bit more to go, guys. Just a little itty bitty bit more to go. And well, Innovation and Gumiho are getting their vetoes going, so we won't have to wait too long on these fine fellas. If you guys, though, are waking up in the morning, it's 7 a.m. here on the West Coast, and you need some coffee to kickstart your day, I would highly recommend checking out one of our sponsors, the fine folks over on Dodger Coffee Co. You can type ! coffee in the chat, and yes, this is Dodgers and the YouTuber, the streamer, the awesome woman that she is behind the project of this. We work with them on a couple of projects. They're sponsoring this tournament, which is cool, and they've recently added tea to their shop. But the big thing is, if you use that link, it lets them first off know you came from the channel, so advertising is worth their dollar, but also it will apply 10% off on any purchase you make on the website. And just on the off chance that the purchase code isn't automatically applied, you can also use BTSL on the checkout. So be sure to check out the coffee links and such. Otherwise, guys, we'll be back in a little bit. Commercials, and hopefully Gumiho and Innovation will be done vetoes swiftly. We can hop right into the elimination series.